Welcome everybody to the regular board meeting for the Richmond Township Board of Trustees. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Evans.
Here. Fontaine, here. DeVos.
Here.
Zelka, here. And Coleman.
Here. Thank you. The next item we have tonight is the presentation of agenda. Does anybody got anything that they would like to add or remove from the agenda tonight?
I'd like to add something to
Okay.
the agenda, an update on the treasurer's position.
Okay, so that would be item J. We'll add an update.
And then I would like to add John Gideon's report to the board. I think everybody will copy him and make sure that into the agenda.
So M would be that. M would be. Okay, anything else? Hearing none, then the agenda will stand as amended. Next item we have is public comment on agenda items only. Is there any public comment on agenda items only? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go down to the, under public comment, the fiscal year 22-23 general fund budget public hearing. I'd like to call that meeting to order at 7:01. Next item on the public hearing agenda, we have a presentation of the fiscal year 22-23 general fund budget. Everybody should have had a copy of your budget in your packet here tonight. Do we have any questions or concerns about the budget as presented? Hearing none, we'll move to the next item, public comment on the fiscal year 22-23 general fund budget. Do we have any public comment on the general fund budget? Hearing none, we'll move to the next item, a discussion by the board for the general fund budget. Any further discussion? Okay. Hearing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing for the fiscal year 22-23 general fund budget.
So moved.
Any support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 7:02. Thank you. Next item we have tonight is the fiscal year 22-23 fire and EMS budget first public hearing. I'd like to call that meeting to order at 7:03. First item we have is the presentation of the fiscal year 22-23 fire and EMS fund budget. That was included in the general fund budget by Jeff. Do we have any public comment on the fiscal year 22-23 fire and EMS budget? Hearing no public comment, do we have any further discussion by the board for the fiscal year 22-23 fire and EMS fund budget? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the public hearing on the fiscal year 22-23 fire and EMS fund budget. Need a motion?
So moved.
Any support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
At 7:03. The next item we have on the agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from the March 19, 2022 special budget workshop meeting. Everybody has an opportunity to review the minutes? If so, can I get a motion to accept?
Motion. Support.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next item is the approval of minutes for the April 13, 2022 regular board meeting. Has everybody had an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yeah, and I didn't see that, the motion on the gypsy month or now the whatever. Did we ever review the tape?
Lori reviewed it, my deputy, and I reviewed it, and it clearly states, did you watch it on YouTube at all? You need to watch it because that's how the motion reads, and then it, yeah, you should watch it and let me know, but no, I mean, I have to stay by what it says. If the whole board would like to view it and give me your opinion, I would, but right now it would stand as is, and if it winds up going the other way, however you guys decide, that would mean that that gypsy mom contract would also have to be pulled, because there would be no other motion. So do you want to review it and get back?
That's fine. Let it go.
Okay, if there's no changes to the minutes from the April 13th regular board meeting, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Can I get support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Next item we have tonight is the consent agenda. In the consent agenda, we have the building department report, EMS report, office manager's report, planning commission report, and the NEMC minutes. Is there anything anybody would like to remove from the consent agenda tonight? Hearing none, could I get a motion to accept the consent agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion is carried. Next item we have tonight are the financial reports. First item is to approve and pay bills. Kathy included a copy of the bills for your review. Does anybody have any questions for Kathy on bills tonight? Hearing none, can I get a motion to approve and pay bills as presented?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. Next item we have is the treasurer's report. Joe?
Give it to my deputy.
You defer to me one last time, so I can give you a financial report from treasurer on the month of May. We had one of the May 4th, 2022 report. We had in the general funds, fire funds, $1,641,775.38. The tax account, $12,475.51. And the other PNC accounts, which is the Recreation Fund, EMS, senior payroll, and the drain was $34,890.09. The investment accounts, $316,305.41. And the purchase of development rights account, $29,731.97 for a grand total of $2,035,178.36. Should indicate we have also in that report the standard information about the investments. I should point out to you that the Michigan class investment, although it hasn't been making a lot of money lately because of interest rates, that interest rate is going up. I didn't show it here, but I think it's about 4.5. And I strongly suggest that the board, and whoever the next treasurer is, look at maybe putting more money into that account, getting a better return on the money that's sitting for investment. The last page of the report, of course, is the township revenue for the month through the end of April. I have shown on that report that the deposit was made for the sale of the Stone property. It shows up on the miscellaneous income. The net amount that we received, $419,847.72, and also the delinquent tax monies that we received from the county in the final settlement. You'll see that all broken down into the amount we received for fire, EMS, general, and the garbage pickup. You should note that in that general, which is the township and the library, there was a payment in the library that's going to have to be made to the city of Richmond. That information has been presented, I think, to the clerk. So I'm also going to give you a current sheet that is through May 9th, which is, I guess, Monday, for all revenue that we received. It's not something you have in your work packet. I thought you should have it now. See all the revenue that we deposited. That really completes the entire treasury.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions for the treasurer or deputy treasurer regarding the treasury report today? No questions? And the treasurer's report will stand as presented. Thank you very much. Next item we have tonight is farmland preservation. Bert?
Baseline report on home and property has been sent to the state, has been approved. So all we're waiting for now is our attorney to do the easement and finish that up. We talked to her the other day, she's working on it. The first and all appraisal has been sent to the state, that's been approved. That's where we're at.
Excellent. Any questions for Bert? Any further? Okay, well, thank you, Bert. Next item we have tonight is the building report. I know Jeff's not here, he's at a conference this week. And I don't know of any issues for building that I'd like to bring up at the moment. We have landscaping under new business tonight, we'll get to that later on. Next item we have is the assessors report. Looks a little light this month. Is there anything anybody would like me to take back to our assessor? Okay. Hearing none, we'll go down to unfinished business. First item up is medical marijuana update. Outside of your articles, I don't have any update, but would the board like to contribute anything to?
Vending machine.
Vending machine?
That's crazy.
Not in the township.
No, I mean, the article that you gave us.
Yes, yes.
That's crazy.
What's going on with the one up on Gordon? Is that
That got turned over to comment. We're working with them right now. The cease and desist order went stale, so Sharon involved that, and comment's working through Sharon through us. As soon as we get an update, we'll be glad to share it, because hopefully it'll all settle soon.
Right. Anything else on medical marijuana? For anybody? Hearing none, next item we have is sale of the Stone 80 update. Sales final, we've been closed on it, and money's been deposited. And thank you to Christensen for working with us on that. So, we look forward to what that's going to do for our future here in the recreation program. So thank you. Any questions regarding the sale or closing or any part of the process? Okay. Hearing none, next item, the personnel policy discussion. Not a whole lot to discuss. It is into Sharon for review for the board's request. I have not heard back from her yet. I'm sure it'll take a little time. But once we get that back, I'll schedule a meeting with personnel and we'll sit down and discuss it and hopefully have something to bring back to the board. If not next month, then maybe the month after. Any questions or concerns regarding the personnel policy? Okay. Hearing none, going down to the electrical inspector fees. In your packet, included a email between Sharon and I, as per the board's request, I reached out to her about the ordinance that we have about following state fees. It appears that we do need to follow the state fees as spelled out to the ordinance. If we want to change those fees, we would be required to change the ordinance. I don't feel myself that that's something the board would want to do. Maybe more of a percentage raise if the board feels that way, but I'd just like to get the board's opinion on possible raise for inspectors. So, Vernon, what do you think?
I don't know if we need to change the rates, but it might be a good idea to change that ordinance in case we want.
Yeah, Sharon has some language.
The way she's got it worded is just that, you know, all fees will be reviewed and adjusted from time to time by the Board of Trustees, reminding be customary and fair. If we don't have that ability to do that, I think we should have that ability. That's the only thing. To actually have to change it now, I don't think so.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sharon, how do you feel?
No, I think that we should stick with the state's recommendations on
As far as like, they were requesting a raise, and I know we had brought up at the last meeting about, maybe more of the percentage size, that's more, I guess, and not necessarily the fees. How do you guys feel on that?
Yeah,
The increase?
I'm good the way it is.
Okay.
Mine.
Okay, sure.
I feel the same.
Okay. Kathy?
Same.
Lydia?
Couple things.
Okay.
I would agree that we stay with the state that is in our ordinance, but I also do think it's a good idea to check into adding that language in case at some point we want to change something.
Right.
I don't think that we need to give them a larger percentage at this time. I feel our turn, can we ask Chris if she has any thoughts on this? I don't know if she does, but I feel like Chris probably is better to all that.
Can I ask you a question? Didn't we, when you were supervisor, didn't we go over everything at one time and change a bunch? in
We
the
just adopted the
percentages?
state, but we kept the same percentage. Can we ask her?
Yeah, you can, as long as she's not felt like put on the spot.
Yeah, I don't want to
problem.
put him on the spot. If you feel put on the spot, then don't. Hasn't it always been 75, 25?
Yeah,
Okay. I just want to make sure.
okay.
And if she does want to come, that's okay. I'll ask her later.
Okay,
I'll ask her after the meeting or something.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Sorry about that, Chris.
So at the moment, we're just gonna leave things.
Right,
as
yeah.
is, But we will look into getting the,
I do like perhaps adding that. I think that's a good idea.
okay.
So we would take that to the planning commission?
That's a regulatory, so that would be done just through here.
Just for you.
Yep.
Okay. So we will work on getting that language changed and get something approved, possibly at the next meeting. Think we turn around that quick, I think. Or is it a couple months?
Soon, I will make it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so, if nothing more on that, we're gonna jump down to new business. And the first item we have on the new business is the approval of the fiscal year 22-23 general fund budget. As presented at the workshop on March 19th and the public hearing tonight, motion would be in order to approve the Richmond Township fiscal year 2022-2023 budget as presented.
Go ahead. I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion is carried. Thank you. Next item we have tonight is the approval of resolution 2022-04 establishing township supervisor salary at a rate of $27,204. A motion to support. Support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item we have tonight is the approval of resolution 2022-05 establishing the township clerk salary at a rate of $27,204.
I make that motion.
Support? Support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item we have is the approval of resolution 2022-06 establishing the township treasurer salary at a rate of $27,204.
I'll make that motion.
Any support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item we have approval of resolution 2022-07 establishing township trustee salary at a rate of $63,1950.
I'll make that motion.
Support. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Next item we have is the appointment of recreation committee discussion. Can I get a motion to discuss?
So moved.
Support.
Support.
Trustee Greenie had asked that I put this on the agenda to discuss, I believe, how we should go about selecting recreation committee.
Right, so if I may speak, I know I did talk to Bert. He had mentioned that perhaps one of the planning commission members would be good to have on, and he suggested someone, and I'm hoping to get a hold of that person this weekend. I did already have one person agree to be on it. I've got a name of someone else, and I always believe that commission should be an odd number. I think that's, most of what we do. So I guess my thoughts are, does anyone up here have someone they might think of recommending? Or do you want to just give me a name later, but we're not saying being filmed and I can call them, or?
I think you had mentioned it at one of the previous meetings, call somebody from, one from planning, and one from this committee or that committee, just like, and then maybe one from the general public.
But I knew I had that person,
Okay.
someone from the general public.
Okay.
So
I remember, yeah.
that was a question. I don't know if we were required to have a certain amount. I feel like 5 is a good amount, but we might just have 3, and 3 might be fine. When we talked about this at first, and I reached out to Sharon and Steve both, and did not feel a lot of clarity coming from either one of them. So,
I know Lennox, they just went through theirs, because I talked to Anthony about this, and I think they're going with a five-member committee for theirs, just so they're not numbered for voting reasons.
Also for showing up reasons.
yeah, oh yeah,
I mean, people are
okay.
busy,
Yep.
and you can't have just 1 of 3 show up, or 2.
I think 5 is a good number.
Okay. So like I said, I will, Vern gave me a name, and I will call that person this weekend. And another resident gave me a name of someone that they felt a younger person. And I think I would like to get even maybe one more person that would have, say, smaller children that might lay there, so.
You might have a couple I could look into for you.
Okay, that would be great. Because I would hope to be able to have these appointments on the June agenda, so that we can get started with that.
Okay.
And then, as we discussed the sign of it, may I go ahead?
Absolutely.
Okay. Last time, we had talked about maybe naming the sign, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought Stone Age is a really kicking name for that part. So, is that something that we want to put on to make a motion for at the next meeting? Does the board just want to do that? Do we want to have Chris send down a constant contact to ask people if they have suggestions and then put it out for a vote? I don't know if we get any more, or personally, I would go with that name, Stone Meeting. You know,
How does the board feel?
I kind of think we should figure it out, only because we know the history.
Right.
Although you're going to come up with a lot of public's opinion, which we value the public opinion, and we go by it. We support us 100%.
Sure. Sheriff, how do you feel?
I think that we should have a few options, just play around,
Okay.
and have some suggestions.
Fred, how do you feel?
I think we should leave it up to the committee.
Um,
Organize the committee. let
Well,
them-
maybe you could come up with ideas and then we bring it back to the board.
Okay.
Good idea.
Okay.
okay, that's all. Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, no problem. Two birds with one stone. So hard. Okay, so anything else on the recreation committee or parking? Okay, then hearing none, we'll go down to the approval of the newspaper designation. Historically, we've used North Macomb Vice and Macomb Daily for newspaper and publication requirements. If they get a motion to call them our newspapers.
So,
Any support?
Support.
All fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next item we have is the approval of the fiscal year 22-23 regular meeting dates. In your packet is a list of the meeting dates from July to June of 23 and a calendar there. All the dates look pretty good to me. Historically, we skipped the summer meeting. Is the board still okay with doing so? And if so, which month, I guess?
Doesn't matter to me.
Me either.
I think it's been July the last few years. Is that still okay with everybody?
Is, when's the, we base it a lot on the fair week.
Yeah.
Fair is the third week of August.
This is the 3rd week of August.
Usually always the third week.
Okay.
So we would actually Before, we always felt, sometimes it fell
Right.
there.
The meeting called the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of August 17th. August 10th would be the meeting, and if it's the third week, would be good.
Yeah.
14th.
Or, it doesn't matter to me, July.
It doesn't matter either.
That's a matter of urgency.
Do we make a motion to pick a month, somebody?
Go with July.
Okay.
And we can change it when we don't change our minds.
August. I think August would be good.
That's fine.
Somebody make a motion?
August better. Lori says August is better.
I know,
So-
she said it, sure
So,
will see it.
let's make a
Why?
motion to approve the dates as presented, with all meetings except the August 10th meeting.
For the support?
Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, perfect. Thank you. Phew,
That was.
Or is it going to be exhausted?
Okay, we're skipping the name discussions, we already covered that. Next item we have is the township stone landscaping discussion. As everybody got in their packet a month or two back now, Jeff had included some options for stone. We would like us to move forward on this. I had asked them, because we had the gray river stone that you had seen, I think Lennox has it out by the road for their hall, and suggested using that in our landscaping in place of the mulch. And I had just asked what the difference it cost would be to match the stone from the project out front, and it's about almost $13,000 difference in the stone. So I just kind of want some direction from the board as to which way they would like to proceed. I think everybody was on board with doing stone instead of mulch, but if they would rather go with gray river type rock instead of the decorative stuff, we would just need a motion to move forward with the not to exceed amount.
Does it really, is it that much difference in look wise from what we had out there?
It's different color and different size, but really,
It's in the parking lot,
right.
basically, so I don't think it really makes, I mean,
Not
it
really
would have been if it was up in front by the building, but
Sure.
in the parking lot, I don't think it really makes a difference, and anything's better than the
right, of course. I think we can all agree on that no matter what. So, yeah, I think we had 10,000 in the budget for mulch, but we assumed we were going to be doing some kind of stone. So do we just want to make a motion not to exceed that amount? I think it'll be around 8 to 9, depending on the price at the time and the actual order rates. I know it fluctuates.
Yeah, that's sufficient, not to exceed that amount,
Okay.
that's what we budgeted.
Okay, so we'll look for a motion for Jeff to move forward on ordering the stone for the landscaping not to exceed 10,000. That's for all islands, everywhere there's mulch will be stone.
Yeah.
Okay. We get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
With support?
Four.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect, thank you.
Just to let you know, about the night planted flowers over by the sign yesterday.
Oh, out by the road?
Yeah, the days lilies are going to be, are up there now.
Perfect, well, thank you so much. That looks nice and inviting from the road, so, perfect, thank you. Next item we have is the approval of resolution 2022-08 EMS week proclamation. Let me get to that page here. There we go. Okay, EMS proclamation 2022, just to designate the week of May 15th through 21st, 2022 as Emergency Medical Services Week. Motion would be in order to designate this proclamation. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Need support? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Next item we have is the Memphis fire contract.
Are we gonna do anything?
We usually do
We
that.
usually do,
Yeah, it's green, I mean.
yeah.
And then you let us know how much it is.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I just wanna make sure.
That would be great.
And if you don't want to do the running too,
Yeah,
I'll take my turn, I mean.
I'll let you know, yeah.
I can run too, Vern, so whatever you need from me, let me know.
Yeah.
We'll make it work, just let us know what we were doing.
Mhm.
Perfect. Any other questions on that? Sorry, don't get that on. Okay, next item is the Memphis fire contract. As soon as I received this, I sent it out. It was a little on the later side, but what they're asking for this time for Memphis, it's traditionally always been a one-year contract. This time around, they proposed a 2-year contract. The first year being a 1.7% increase for 22 to 23, and a 2.5% increase for 23 and 24. What I've built into the budget that we approved, I calculated 2%, just to go a little bit on the high side. So we're still in good shape there, and then we can budget 2% if approved for next year's budget. I think it's pretty fair, and I like the idea of a 2-year contract. Yes, I do too. So a motion will be in order to approve the contract as presented. Any support? Support. All fair side?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Okay, next item we have is the update on the board vacancy. Cheryl, do you have something to?
No, I was just wondering if there's any,
I know we've had some interest, and I have not had a chance to sit down with our clerk this week to discuss what we've received in that process. After the 14th, we certainly will review that, get something going. Anything else anybody would like to? Yeah, we'll probably have to call a special meeting before the 30 days. We have 30 days from the 14th to appoint.
but you have to watch out because you're going to have to get ready for tax season, which is July 1st. You got to give them an opportunity to get ready for that, and it takes a while to do that.
Right.
So I wouldn't hesitate to.
No, we're not going to wait too long, but there wasn't really a need to do it prior to the 14th. Anything else on that? Okay. Next item we have would be the letter from John Gideon.
Oh, I don't have to read it into the record. He just wanted to make sure all board members got a copy of it, and it's basically talking about how you know how our audit usually ends in June? He would like to come out and review at the end of Cheryl's, and then the beginning of whoever is next, which is common practice, because then it would be Cheryl's work versus that work.
Right.
And everything is ready for him, and everything is at the office, in the office, that's what that meant.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Any other questions on that item? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on. For items in the next agenda, we have the fiscal year 22-23 fire and EMS budget second public hearing. We are going to put the appointment of committee members on there for the recreation.
My amendments,
Okay.
is that time already?
Oh, it is.
I gotta write this down, use some brain power.
We may have a presentation from the Memphis Girl Scout group about a
Very
project
nice.
here on the township property, so we'll look forward to that. Anything else that you can think of at the moment? Call the board to the next item?
This is, we can say whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because earlier I had said that regarding the name of the park to be, that we shouldn't ask the public, and it was not really correct. That's not what I wanted to get across. What I thought with the Stone 80 was that goes with the land, not a person. Because how can you pick out one person or one family from a community? That was my thought line. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that I wasn't like, I got it, going against the public. Thank you, Pat. That's all.
Okay. Anything else on your call the board?
I would just like to say thank you again to Cheryl and Bob for all the years of taking care of our money. We have a much better fund balance than we did before we started. You guys were always careful, the audits were always well done, and you guys are always good volunteers to do extra stuff. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if any of you have been by the Stone 80 yet, but that's, one of our reasons for selling this was we couldn't keep it up, we couldn't tie it, we couldn't improve. Well, if you've been by there, it's
Underway.
underway, so thank you to the Christians for doing what we really wanted to see done, you know, improving the farm and keeping it in production.
Yeah.
So, part of our mission is beginning to be accomplished.
Yep. Great. Well, fantastic. Anything else? Hearing now, we have general public comment.
At our housewares. I think we each have one of these by your side. This was produced through the Lions Club. Mike Manchek and Keith Ringer worked on it, and it is a guide to assistance for people in our community. And I told him I'd pass them out, so on yours I have marked the food pantry and the Good Samaritan Fund, which I'm the head of the board for both of those. They've been the community for over 45 years, and it seems not very many people know, as hard as we try to get the word out. So I just wanted, and if you should have questions, my phone number's at the bottom, but I really don't want that given out to the public, because they should call the numbers that are listed out there for food. So it is a number at St. Augustine's, and then you just follow the prompts, and the phone voicemails are picked up twice a day and addressed, whatever the situation you should have. Okay?
Great. Well, thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Two things. Board certainly knows, and Cindy pointed out, Cheryl has been the real treasurer here. I was treasurer for 12 years, and she's been treasurer for a year and a half. But everybody knows she did the work. I was the face on this board, and I made the decisions that were tough. And I certainly appreciate the work that she did, and I would hope that the board certainly appreciates the work that she did as a year and a half as treasurer. It's not an easy position. It's a position that takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of man hours that the board should realize when they're looking to appoint another treasurer. And in that vein, I want to talk about transparency. One can promote transparency in government by being clear as to how decisions are made, explain the procedures and processes, and avoiding legal jargon and using plain language. The board must ask itself whether the process for looking for a new treasurer has been completely transparent. As a township resident, I'm not talking about township treasurer, former township treasurer, I'm talking about township resident, I'm kind of disappointed that not more of an effort has been made to publicize this vacancy. What did the board do? They put a little note on the township website and notice of vacancy. Something that you have to click on to find out what the vacancy was for. No notice was made in the township newspaper. And the township sent out a notice of vacancy on constant contact. We all know that constant contact has about 250 residents that are signed up for it. This township has over 5,000 residents, or close to 5,000. I may be wrong on that. I think that the effort to try to solicit some candidates was lacking here. The thing that bothers me most is that we're always looking for people to step forward in this community. We're all here in the word out, we've been working a long time for the township. This was a perfect opportunity to publicize the effort to try to get somebody else. I think that the board has to look at themselves and say, did we do a good job in trying to promote notice of this vacancy? And the other thing is, I think you're losing a lot of institutional knowledge by that little step back in the Senate.
Thank you. Any other public comment tonight?
I have one question. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I wonder if somewhere in the file, if there is a survey for this domain.
Oh,
all the, could we work on it?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see what we can dig up on that.
You should have it. Yeah.
It's probably in there.
Yeah.
Okay. And I also would like to add that Cheryl has done a wonderful job. As far as our concern, wonderful.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that. Anything else for general public comment tonight before we adjourn? Okay. Next item we have then is adjournment. Make a motion